Have you ever caught yourself scrolling your phone for just 5 minutes and suddenly half an hour's gone? That's the magic, or maybe the curse of distraction. Today, I want to talk about why wasting time feels so natural. It's not just laziness, it's about our brains craving dopamine, that quick happy feeling you get from something fun, like a funny video or a message ping. Now, you might be thinking, but I need breaks. And you're right, breaks are important. But when breaks stretch and turn into hours lost, that's procrastination putting off what matters for what feels easier. Let me tell you a story. My friend planned to study for an hour. She checked Instagram just for a sec, and, well, the textbook stayed closed. Sound familiar? So, how do we spot these time traps and start winning back our day? Let's dig in. Now, motivation, what is it really? Imagine motivation like the battery in your phone. When it's charged, you're ready to go. When it's low, everything feels harder. Psychologists talk about intrinsic motivation, doing something because you enjoy it, and extrinsic motivation, doing it for a reward, like a good grade or praise. You might be thinking, I'm not a naturally motivated person, but here's the twist. Motivation often comes after you start, not before. That's called activation energy, the push to get you moving. Let me give you an example. When I start my day with a small win, like making my bed, I feel ready to tackle bigger tasks. So, ask yourself, what's one small thing you can do right now to get that energy flowing? Let's talk routines. Have you noticed how a good morning can shape your whole day? Routines are like autopilot for your brain, removing the stress of constant decision-making. A routine is just a set of habits you repeat daily, and here's a technical term, habit loop. It's the cue, the action, and the reward. For me, my cue is my alarm, my action is stretching, and my reward is a fresh cup of coffee. Now, you might wonder, what if I'm not a morning person? You don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. Even a simple morning routine like brushing your teeth, drinking water, and reviewing your plan can give you a calm, focused start. I challenge you, try adding one new habit tomorrow morning. See how it feels. Remember, routines aren't about strict rules, they're about making life a little easier, one morning at a time. Alright, let's face it, our biggest distractions live in our pockets or phones. Notifications, endless feeds, just one more video. Sound familiar? The technical term here is intermittent reinforcement. It means sometimes you see something exciting, sometimes you don't, so you keep checking, hoping for that reward. Now you might be thinking, can't I just turn my phone off? Easier said than done. Our brains crave connection and novelty. Let me tell you a story. I once tracked my phone use for a week. The result? Over 20 hours spent on social media. That's almost a full day, gone. So, what can we do? Let's explore some simple, realistic ways to reduce these distractions. How do you stay focused in a world full of distractions? That's the million-dollar question. One key strategy is time blocking. Imagine your day as a series of boxes. Each box is for one activity, like work, study, or even play. You might wonder, isn't that too strict? Actually, time blocking gives you freedom. It protects time for what matters, so you don't feel guilty later. Another trick? Use the Pomodoro technique. Work for 25 minutes, then take a 5-minute break. It turns big tasks into bite-sized pieces. Try it today. Set a timer and just start. You'll be surprised how much you can get done when you work with, not against, your brain. Ever feel overwhelmed by everything you need to do? That's where a simple checklist comes in. It's old school, but it works wonders. Here's the science. Cognitive load is the amount of information your brain can handle at once. A checklist reduces that load, freeing your mind to focus on the actual tasks. Now you might ask, isn't it just busy work? But crossing off each item gives you a shot of dopamine. Yep, that same happy brain chemical we talked about earlier. Let me tell you a story. My friend Jake started making a daily checklist. He said it was like having a coach by his side, keeping him on track. Tonight, write down 3 things you want to finish tomorrow. Start small, see how good it feels to check them off. Let's build your English toolbox. Today's words, productive, routine, schedule, and expressions like stay focused and don't put things off. Productive means you get things done, not just stay busy. A routine is your regular way of doing things, like your morning coffee ritual. Schedule is your plan for the day. When you stay focused, you keep your attention on the task. And don't put things off means, well, no more procrastination. Now, you might wonder, how do I use these in real life? Try this. I want to stay focused, so I made a schedule. Repeat after me. Saying these phrases out loud will help you remember them when you need them most. Let's practice together. Imagine you're telling a friend about your day. How would you describe your routine in English? Start simple. In the morning, I brush my teeth, drink water, and check my schedule. Try adding more. I try not to waste time. I stay focused by making a plan. Now, you might think, I'm not confident speaking yet. That's okay. Practice makes perfect. Repeat these sentences after me. Pause the episode if you need to. The more you speak, the easier it gets. Let's talk about procrastination. Why do we put things off, even when we know we shouldn't? There's a term for this: temporal discounting. It means we value present comfort more than future rewards. That's why watching TV feels better than writing an essay, at least right now. But here's the good news. Small wins beat big plans. When you finish a tiny task, your brain celebrates. That makes it easier to take on the next one. Let me share. I used to wait for the perfect time to start projects, but it never came. Now, I just start with one small step and momentum builds. So, what's one thing you've been putting off? Do it now, even for 5 minutes. You'll thank yourself later. It's time for your speaking challenge. I want you to describe your morning routine using 3 new expressions from today's episode. For example, every morning I make a plan for my day. I don't put things off. I start with the most important task and try to stay focused. Now, it's your turn. Pause this episode, grab a notebook, and write down your routine in English. Then, read it out loud. Don't worry about mistakes. The goal is to use new words and practice speaking. When you're done, give yourself a pat on the back. You're building not just better habits, but better English, one day at a time.